Okay, you've got me to do it. I'm finally gonna talk about the big D word, demons. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm often asked about demons, unsurprisingly, being a paranormal investigator. Not even asked as much as I'm told. I have a lot of people talking to me about their demonic cases and not really asking my opinion or expertise, which is fine, but they also ask me for my opinion and then disagree with me and tell me how I'm wrong. These days, it seems like there are demons everywhere. And of course, a lot of people place blame on one particular TV show, but honestly, the whole demons are everywhere thing kind of happened really when the satanic panic was coming about. And also, I know people have mixed feelings about them, but Ed and Lorraine Warren also pushed this idea of demons. Television, the Warrens, satanic panic, conservative Christianity, a lot of influences are at play when it comes to today's perspective on demonology. And speaking of TV, demons make good TV, but demonic cases are rare, extremely rare. So I'm approaching you with this topic as a paranormal investigator and researcher, but also as someone who has had experiences working with the demonic. Not working like we're playing cards or anything, but, working demonic cases. I've worked with demonologists and I've even helped assess cases for the Roman Catholic Church and the Old Catholic Church. I mean, I've read tons of books on it. I've taken classes. I've consulted with people who know a lot more than I do about demons and asked them their opinions. And, this is like an eighth of my collection. I've read a lot of books about demons. Not to mention, I was also raised Christian, very conservative Christian. I did Awana growing up. I went to Sunday school. I went to church multiple times a week. I was deep in it. I was even part of a Christian mime group that traveled to Hungary, Romania, and Greece. And I mean, if we're talking like spiritual warfare, this was spiritual warfare, as you could call it. I was convinced that demons were working against me and trying to prevent me from spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. And with that, I became obsessed with demonology. Like, who were these demons? What were they? Why do they want to cause me harm? I did field work too. And I learned a lot that opened my eyes. A lot of what I'm about to say is coming from field work. And I'm not going to be quoting scripture because not everyone believes in God or one religion. Also, I encourage you, if you do research on demons and demonology and you're watching shows and taking classes, reading books, please look at it with a critical eye. Just as you're watching my video, watch it with a critical eye. Question the statements I make. This video might challenge some things that you have been led to believe about demons. Let's do it. Let's dive into demons. Hello, spooky crew, and thanks for coming back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Alex, and thanks for coming to my spooky corner of the internet. And before we start, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and click on that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. Also, you can follow me on social media on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter at The Spooky Stuff. And finally, if you want more spooky stories, then be sure to visit my website at thespookystuff.com. Here we go. So, hard fact number 1. Scary experiences don't mean demons. The experience is all about the eye of the beholder. So if you are in a haunted location or you get freaked out and you get scared, a lot of people associate that fear with something evil or demonic, when really it's just your response. It's a negative experience. Yes, being scared is negative, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that experience is demonic. And this is where the TV shows really get that muddied. Like a door moves or there's an orb, oh, it's a demon! No. And also, not just demons can scratch you, which I'll be honest, scratches are very questionable anyway. Just because you are having a negative experience with a haunting or some sort of story or experience, it doesn't mean demons. So yeah, just because you're scared, don't jump on the demon train quite yet. Really evaluate and assess how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, because most of the time it could just be nerves. It could be just because you're alone, or it's dark, or you were told that this was a scary area and your senses are heightened. Hard fact number 2, most of the videos that you see about demons is not demonic. Instead, what really grinds my gears about these videos is that they are fear-mongering, they are not helpful, and they are encouraging people to live in fear. And I find this especially common in videos that are made by some sort of religious group. And usually in that case, you have to look at the source and see if they might have some sort of agenda. Demons were used as a tool many times throughout my life to get me closer to God. So anytime you watch videos about like, oh, a demon was spotted or things like that, really look at them with a critical eye. Like, who made the video? Why did they make the video? And what were they expecting to get out of it? Like for me, I'm making this video so you can be less afraid out there in the field, or you can be less afraid watching videos and content about demons and not have to worry about whether you're inviting them into your home because you watched a YouTube video or watched a horror movie. Full disclosure, I've seen The Exorcist many times. I have read the book. You see my collection of books about demons and demonology. I have not had a demon come into my home. All right, hard fact number 3, ghosts are not demons. Now, I know there is scripture in the Bible that's used to support the idea that any sort of spirit or ghost that you encounter is a demon, but this goes into a long history of theology, biblical history that I'm not going to go into in this video right now, but I'm going to tell you ghosts are not demons. I'm going to be honest, there is a different feeling when you are working a case with a ghost versus something evil or demonic. And again, this goes back to hard fact number 1. Just because it scares you, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily evil. And speaking of, hard fact 4, evil doesn't mean demonic. Not all evil spirits are demons. Not all evil ghosts are demons. Sometimes a person may be a jerk in life, and then after they pass, they stay a jerk in death. It happens. And it also doesn't help, especially with mainstream TV shows, they go in provoking the spirit and then they get surprised and scared and yell demons when they get scratched or pushed. All right, hard fact number 5. This is going to get me in trouble, but it has to be said. Most demonologists are not legit. Why is that? Most demonologists are self-proclaimed demonologists. They may have read a book or two and then decided, oh, I'm a demonologist. Or they took an online class and decided, oh, I'm going to go into demonology and become a demonologist. There is rigorous training for demonologists. If you go to the right person, then yes, you are trained properly. But most of the demonologists that are out there are not demonologists, especially if they're using that title to promote themselves, to sell books, sell a TV show. This is stuff you have to consider. Most of the demonologists that I work with and that I know are not out there publicly. It's like this underground movement of demonologists. And in case you're wondering, no, I have no intention or goals to become a demonologist. I see like the public persona demonologists, and when I do ask them questions, because I'm that person, they'll usually not know what they're talking about, and it's dangerous. Frankly, it's dangerous. If you bring in a demonologist that doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to make things worse, even if your case is not a demon. So that brings me to point number 6. Most cases are not demonic at all. Do you know how rare it is for a demonic case to happen? I mean, I'm talking like, I think if I had to count how many cases I've done over the years, I mean, I'm probably hundreds, like 150-ish. I mean, if you're taking like 1 or 2 cases per month, multiply that by almost 10. I mean, there's been a lot of like allegedly demonic cases I have done, but how many of them were actually demonic out of that big number? We're talking less than what I can count on one hand. A lot of the cases that are called demonic are usually involving a negative spirit, like a negative human spirit or a negative inhuman spirit, which doesn't mean demons. I mean, you also have entities like fae and other things, and deities from other religions that could be at play. I mean, it's maddening when you look at all of it and try to consider what are the standards of something being demonic versus not demonic. Also, this is going to bring me into point number 7. A lot of it can be a mental health issue. I am saying it. A lot of allegedly demonic cases are actually mental health issues. If you've actually looked at the standards that the Roman Catholic Church has when it comes to approving exorcisms, holy cow. I mean, you're basically doing everything except giving them an organ and your first child. Like, you have to go through a super aggressive protocol on your case. You have to be evaluated medically. You have to be, evaluated psychologically. There's a rigorous protocol here. And a lot of that came from the death of Annalise Michael, who died during her exorcism, and she had died from malnutrition and all these terrible things. You can probably see here or get the sense that there is an immense danger in calling something demonic that is not demonic. I have worked with clients who were sure they had a demonic case, and really I find out that there were drugs at play, or there was a mental health issue and they were looking for an excuse to not take their medication anymore. Whoa, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Full disclosure, I don't do exorcisms, I don't do deliverances, and I don't do Christian blessings. I will be happy to help assess a case, but I'm not going to be the one implementing the resolution. I will find someone who is much more experienced and knowledgeable than me to step in. Hard point number 8, consent when it comes to possession. I really enjoyed this book. I've had it for several years. I actually read it for a class. It's called Hostage to the Devil by Malachi Martin. And it basically has this structure of you learn about the possessed and you learn about the exorcist involved. I still have some of my blue research tablets in there. In this particular book, consent was a part of the process of possession. I have a big problem with people saying that babies can be possessed or kids can be possessed. And I think there's a lot of misguided information when it comes to the demonic and the possessed. Consent is a big deal. I mean, granted, yes, we have learned that demons can break down your mental stability and just keep knocking and knocking and knocking until you say yes. In that case, yes, consent is a thing, but it's not like you're going to be walking down the street one day hooting and hollering at a pretty girl and then the next minute you're possessed. Or you're going to be a jerk but not possessed. Or you decide to smoke a cigarette or look at pornography or lie and then you become possessed. No, that's not how this works. So don't worry, there is not a demon lurking around every corner waiting for you to mess up so they can possess you. This brings me to point number 9. Possession isn't an instant thing. It's not like it happens just like that. There's stages of possession. There's a process. There's infestation, oppression, the whole list. I mean, depending on what religious area you're looking at, it's all sort of different. I think it's not an instantaneous thing. And neither are exorcisms, which brings me into point number 10. Exorcisms are an intense process. It's not like you do an exorcism for 5 minutes and the issue is over. This is why I have a lot of issues with the demonologists, the self-proclaimed demonologists who are like TV evangelists and they just lay hands for like 2 seconds and then the person is cured. Legit exorcisms can take days, months, weeks. In my video about how The Exorcist was a true story, Roland Doe, the possessed kid, he went through 2 exorcisms. One of them was 3 nights, and I think the next one was a couple weeks. It's not like this instantaneous thing. Whenever you see someone proclaim that they can exorcise you with a prayer and you're good, usually when this happens, they're trying to get something out of you, like money, a donation, that kind of thing. All right, point number 11. This is another one that is going to possibly get me in trouble. There's more than just the Bible for information about demons. A lot of religions have their own protocol about demons and how they handle them. I mean, the Greek Orthodox Church has their protocol. I'm very familiar with that. I've been through that one personally. There's a lot of different religions that have their own process with demons, and guess what? It works. There's not just one way that can help with demons and demonology and all that good stuff. You don't have to look at just the Bible. And in case you're wondering, yes, I've read the Bible several times. I have like 5 Bibles with different translations. All right, point number 12. Demonology indicates a religious bias. As I do more cases that involve demons and whatnot, I get more skeptical that I'm not sure if these are actually demons. I'm going to be honest, especially with the point that I mentioned earlier about how a lot of Christians believe that there are no such thing as ghosts. It's just demons. That's a religious bias. And I've noticed a lot of people who don't believe in Christianity or don't believe in demons, when they have hauntings, while it may still scare them and alarm them, they don't immediately go to demons. You have to be really careful with that religious bias, because that's what really instills that fear and gets people freaking out about everything. And last but not least, a demon to you, a deity to someone else. This is something that really bugs me, and this goes along with the whole religious bias aspect. What you may call a demon or what someone else calls a demon, that could be someone else's god. Just because someone else believes in something that doesn't align with your beliefs doesn't make it demonic. I have worked with a few religious leaders who have called out to demons, but have called out to deities like Pan and others, Gaia, or even like Athena and Zeus. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And that's honestly not right. Because I'm going to be roasted by the Christians, but there's more than just Christianity out there that works for people. Everyone has a different path when it comes to religion. And honestly, just because someone doesn't believe what you believe, it doesn't make what they worship demonic. All right, if you've made it to the end, nicely done. Here's the deal, real talk. If someone is certain that they have a demon, there's not much you can say to change their mind. And most of the time, these people are going to look for things that agree with their belief that they are dealing with a demon. And we like to call that confirmation bias. So what do you think of demons? Let me know in the comments. Alright, before you go, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and click on that notification bell. And feel free to share this video with your friends and family who also enjoy the spooky stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next round.